Hey, hi guys, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, we'll be discussing about another type of data structures which are called as dictionaries. Okay. Now, what does dictionary do? So dictionary basically can store key value information. Now, what do I mean by key value information? Let's have a look at it. Now, till now we have studied, lists. We have studied tuples as well. If you talk about a list, typically it's noted by a square bracket, and we can store any kind of elements inside it. It can store multiple type of data types, right? Whereas a tuple can have almost the same properties as a list, but just that it cannot be changed. Those are immutable. When it comes to a dictionary, it stores information in the form of key and value pairs. What do I mean by key value pairs? Right. So dictionary say I want to save name and I want to equate it to Gaurav. So if I do type of D, it's a dictionary. So a list starts with, square brackets. A tuple has round brackets, whereas a dictionary has the third brackets, the curly brackets, which you see here. Now, this part of the structure is called as the key, and this is called as the value. Similarly, I can write, say, I can do comma salary 20,000. So this is how you can create a dictionary. If it's a number, you can directly put it like this. If it's a string, then you have to put, of course, you have to put put it inside quotes. So if I now do d1 dot values, if I do d1 dot values, I have to put a bracket here. Whenever suppose you run something and you get function tick dot values, it means that you have only stored the object. To get the values out, you have to put a bracket here. So you can see here, the values are Gaurav and 2000 because these are the values of the entire dictionary, right? And if I do t1 dot keys, it will give me the keys of the entire dictionary, name and salary. Now you can see here what kind of structure it is. Seems like a list. So let's try to see what kind of a structure it is. Type of this dict values. So these are called as dict values. Now, can I convert this dict values type of structure, which we do not want? We typically want to keep it simple. We want to keep it in terms of either a dictionary or list or tuple or data frames, right? We want our structures to be very simple so that we can access the elements inside it whenever we want to. So if you can do dot to list. So you can see here, dict values object has no attribute dot to list. Okay. So which means that if I want to put a list function on top of it, this will work. So either when you want to convert any kind of structure to a list, try two things out. One is dot to list, another one is, simply put list of that entire, on that entire container and convert it from dict values to a list, proper list. Similarly, if I put list of d1 dot keys, it will give me a list of the keys of the entire dictionary. If I want to update a dictionary with certain values, just like we did in lists, in tuples, we cannot because these are immutable, of course. So d1 dot update. Let's see if I'm correct. d1 dot update. Now we have name, salary, probably you say company. You can say Eduvidin. Let's see if this works. Now, if I print out D, I can see here the company Eduvidin has been updated in this particular dictionary. Earlier it was name and salary. Now you have name, salary, and company as well. Now, can a dictionary store multiple values within a key? Let's try to see that. D2. So let's say I have a dictionary, say name. Name is say Gaurav, Istiak, and then you have say salary of 20,000, 30,000, and then you have company or something, whatever it is, right? Eduvidin, Eduvidin. You can see here, as soon as I had to store multiple values, I had to use a list. You cannot store multiple information and attribute it to the single key here without using a container. You have to use a container. So these are the concepts which I want you guys to learn. If you learn these things in the very beginning, your journey towards you dealing with complex data structures will be very, very easy. So now if you do this, so you can always get an error. You don't get scared with that. So you can see here, Python also indicates you mark in red, which maybe it's wrong. You do not have the enclosing brackets were not matching. There's an extra bracket there. So it's showing an error. So now you can see it has stored the information. Now the best part is, why are we studying this? Now, if I simply do, I know I don't want to go get there, but I'm tempted to pd dot data frame. What is pandas? What am I doing here? I'll explain to you in a couple of videos. Don't worry. But I want to show you the purpose of me learning, teaching you the dictionaries as of now. So let's say d underscore is equal to this, right? And then if I just want to pd.pandas.data frame of d underscore, I get a table of the information which I had just expressed in terms of keys and values. Similar dictionaries can be converted to a data frame. A list of lists can also be converted to a data frame. So these are advantages, guys. And typically, more than the data frame creation, we have other files which are typically stored in a server in the form of a JSON files. So all JSON files have hierarchical information where you have a parent key and then you have a child key and then, keep on going. I'll give an example of a JSON file. And that is how we can read these files in Python using a dictionary. Okay, guys, so let's now try to read a JSON file in Python. So suppose I have a folder called datasets here, and inside it, I have these two files, nested and simple. So let me try to read the simple file first. And my code is present in the same directory when the datasets folder is present. So you have to be very careful. So first, to read JSON files, you have to import a module called impsn. Now, slowly and steadily, as we go into more advanced versions of Python, you will see that some functionalities are not present, directly. You will not access those functionalities directly. You'll get those functionalities present inside another module. So JSON is a module, and JSON helps you read JSON files. Say f is equal to open function r. So we have the datasets folder, and then inside you have the simple.json file. Now let's try to look at, see, it's mentioned as JSON file. It can also read TXT files as well. Once I do this, what is an F? F is an object which it has read. Now I want to find out the contents of that, the JSON file. So what I'll do simply f dot load. Sorry, it should be JSON dot load of f. JSON is the function. Inside the JSON library or function, whatever you call it, I'll call it as a library. JSON.load is the function, which is inside the JSON library. It's a dictionary. There are multiple dictionaries, right? But if I do type of this, let's say I'll save it in, say, data. I'll save it in data. So now if I do type of data, see, it's a list. Why? Because you can see here, there's a list outside all these dictionaries. And each of these commas represents an element formation. So for this particular parent list, this entire dictionary is actually an element. Just like we had nested lists, we can have such dictionaries, multiple dictionaries inside a list. Okay, now if I do data of 0, I get the dictionary, which is this. Now, if I want to extract the name Andrew from it, just like in lists or tuples, we used indexes or integer indexes to slice out information. Here, to get the value, I'll slice out the key name to get the value out. So here also, we had multiple values within the key. So if I want to extract the salaries, I'll simply say d underscore of salary, which I'll get both the salaries. If I want to extract the 30,000 out of it, you will very well know you have just put one. But the interesting fact is, if I simply do pd.data frame of data, it will simply give me a very easy looking data frame consisting of all the information. Now, this will happen only when we have the same keys across all the different types of information. So basically, the name key is saving multiple information of Andrew, Bhuvan, whatever it is. We may as well as put this entire information inside a list, or we can have a single dictionary like this, which stores multiple information inside the same. So all these Andrew, Bhuvan, Clinton, Drake could have come directly inside one single list. And hence you'd have one dictionary, right? There are multiple ways to do the same thing in Python. That is why it's so flexible. So let's try to read a little bit more complex dictionary or JSON file. So let's just simply, copy paste this code here, since we have already used it. And the second file name is, say, nested. And what I'll do next is I'll simply do JSON.load of it. Okay, and I'll save it in say data2. What is data2? It looks something like this. So you can see here, if I do type of data2, I'll simply get a list. But if I extract the first element out, data2 of 2, needless to say, it's a dictionary, right? But inside this dictionary, you can see one of the keys having a dictionary as information again. This represents some kind of hierarchy. This outer dictionary is called the parent dictionary, and this inner dictionary is called as the child dictionary. This is typically used to store hierarchical information. There is one more very useful advantage. Dictionaries occupies less space than data frames, and it is very easy to store information. When you have large information, dictionaries take up less space as compared to data frames or tables. And that is why softwares, when they store information, user information, they store it in form of a JSON file, just like a nested dictionary. Suppose you are using Google, OCR, or Google Doc AI in computer vision. If you're doing some, document digitization work, when you read a PDF document and you scan it using some OCR tools, it stores the information in a dictionary format. Very interesting, isn't it? That is the usage. So data2 from 0. Now, if I want to extract the roll number, I'll simply do this. Okay. Now, if I want to extract the details, I'll simply do this. All you have to know is what do I want? If I want this entire dictionary, there is no option for you but to call out details, because this is a key and this is the entire value. Here, the value itself is a dictionary again. Now, if I want to find out the grade of Andrew, I'll again have to do grade like this. So guys, this is all for today. Please like, share, and subscribe. I hope you like this video. We'll come up with much more interesting case studies as well. So stay tuned, guys. Thank you.